It's your boy Josh Powell checking in, man, and you are getting into the latest episode, Charlotte on the Scene, with my two dogs, Bless Kings, man, good people, man. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, check them out. Let's get it.
So today on Charlotte on the Scene, we got the one and only, the one and only, and I'm very blessed to have this interview. Is Josh Powell, NBA vet, played with the Lakers, has 2 rings.
Mm-hmm.
2009, 2010, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, one of those rings.
Respectfully.
I'm not really happy about, but I'm Celtics, Team Celtics. I should wear my jersey. My cousin gonna flash this in my face.
Well, I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm wearing it out of respect
all right,
because
so let's just put that on the table right now.
Put that on the table right there, so we don't got no problems. How you doing, brother Josh? It's good to have you on the platform today. Thank you, brother, for being here.
I'm good, and it's funny, right before we got started, y'all set this bar so high. So I'm hoping I could be the first guest to give y'all your flowers.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Because I know it's hard out here. I understand the game. I know what goes into it. And salute to you all. You got your queen back there. You know what I mean. I know that's family, but she holding y'all down, and it's just
she about fed up with us right about now.
and everything else, man. But I do want to give y'all your flowers, man, and tell y'all keep doing what you're doing, keep mashing the gas, fellas. Nothing but love and success, man. And thank y'all for bringing me on your platform to allow me to share just a little bit. You feel me? So let's get it.
Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm gonna let Lawrence start off.
All right. Well,
he's been itching.
All right. Well, where I should begin? Let's not even go jump forward too crazy. Let's how'd you fall in love with basketball? Let's start right there. How'd you fall in love with basketball?
Well, that lady y'all just heard going up the stairs, my mother, you know what I'm saying? Like she was actually the first person I seen touch a basketball.
So your mom played ball?
Yeah.
Professionally, or she just like high school or something?
She was good enough and got a scholarship in college. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
My dad was and again I saw my mom hoop way after the fact, but I heard my dad was like a legend. He was great in every sport. Baseball, football, and basketball. You know what I mean? So both of my parents, man, they already had that going. They had it in them. You know what I mean? So shout out to my mom because, like I said, I started off playing football and baseball. Those were my first two sports, and then I fell in love with the game of basketball.
Okay.
That's real. So, how tall are you? Because and I'm asking you that because I know when I was in high school, I had a growth spurt. I was like 5'3" for like the longest time of my life, and then I had a growth spurt, and I got to be like 6'4". So when did you like?
6'4"?
Yeah, I'm 6'3 and a half, 6'4". Yeah,
6'3 and a half or 6'2", bro. Come on, you're pushing them numbers, man. Stop.
All right.
Where's the caps at too? Son, can we get the caps, please? Can we get the caps?
Get the
He's
caps.
already starting already, and we're not going to do that.
Let's
open this wide on up right now.
Listen.
Come on, bro. You 6'1 and a half.
Yeah. All right, whatever. I'm 6'3". That's what doctor said. But anyway, and I'm mad you even brought that up. But anyway, so like like you playing football and you playing basketball. When did you realize you were going to be, grow into the the size that you were to even be that as tall as you were? Because that's what I was going to ask you.
I didn't. What's funny is like I was bigger than most kids, but it wasn't like I was just some giant. You know what I mean? Like I was like 6'1", 6'2" my freshman year, and then at the end of my freshman year, going into my sophomore year, I came back 6'8".
Oh, wow.
So it was like, man, crazy growth spurt. Like I just came back tall than a mug, and I didn't expect that because it's not like I have anybody in my family like that's my size either.
Got you.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So,
got you. How tall is your mom and your dad, if you want me to ask you?
You mentioned your pops.
So my mom, my dad is like 6'1". My mom is 6 feet.
Okay. Makes
And
sense.
then my mom is like, again, it's like my uncles and my aunts, like everybody like 5'7", 5'8", maybe somebody 5'9". It ain't like anybody touching 6, and then here come my mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then like my brother, like one of my brothers is like 6'4", my other one's like 6'3".
Oh, so some height there.
Uh,
Okay.
but it's like that should have been where I should have been.
6'3",
Okay.
not
That's
6'8".
not how.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
6'8" is crazy. Yeah,
it just worked out, different. So
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So when you had your growth spurt and everything like that, when did you know that you had it? You had the it factor to make it.
I had to work to get the it factor.
Okay.
This wasn't the King James, Kobe Bryant edition. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I had to really put in the work. But at the end of because I only played 3 years of varsity, and at my first year of varsity, like starting and all of that, I was what 17 and right at 10 rebounds, and then my junior year, like I jumped up. So like that summer going into my junior year, the Nike All American camps and just getting those invites and all of that, like that's when I knew I made my jump because I went from just trying to get an offer, like going to school. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like that was just a goal. Like I can go to college for free, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
My first offer was from Mercer University. You know what I
Mercer.
mean? Like,
Yeah, I know Mercer.
yeah. So it
Yeah.
was like, these are humble beginnings. It ain't like, I
Mm-hmm.
started off as some phenom. Like I really had to put the work in, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the coaches that I've had. I had Outlaw, I had Norman Parker, I had Lindsey Hunter, I had Keith
Lindsey Hunter.
Winston.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jackson State.
so
Yeah.
and playing AAU is funny because I did a live earlier with Kwame Brown, and like me and Kwame was on the Georgia Stars together, and this
Mm-hmm.
was when Kwame, like, people want to say what they want to say, man, but nobody has seen nothing like that.
Correct.
Kwame bringing the ball up the court,
Mm-hmm.
athletic, quick, first step, like bro was like next level with the NBA frame, so.
Right.
It was just funny. We was just laughing and joking, man, just about the old days and just us being kids and
Mm-hmm.
just coming up during that time. But yeah, a lot of work, a lot of playing on the concrete out in
Mm-hmm.
the front yard. You know, come practicing as much as possible, hooping all the time, like push ups at night because the coach said, "Hey, man, we need
Mm-hmm.
you to do 150 a day or whatever." Like, and I was a scrawny kid, man, like
Mm-hmm.
6'8", 6'9", but I was like 185, bro.
Oh wow.
I didn't even enter college. Like I didn't even touch 200. I had my freshman year, I put on 15, 20 pounds and I got to 205.
Mm.
Mm.
And then I had to put on more muscle and I was like 220 my sophomore year. Like I worked, bro. Like I really had to put the work in.
Mm.
So you saying so Josh? One thing I really hear you is like the coaches that you dealt with, the different mentalities that you had coming up. How did those different coaches fuel you, and also what did it put into you to go through? I guess to go through that grind. Um, and I mean like from a granular level, like like I think with AAU, high school, and college, you have different types of coaches.
Hmm.
How did you respond to different types of teachings from different coaches?
Well, first of all, growing up in that environment, like from College Park, you know what I'm saying, playing at Brady Gym,
Mm-hmm.
and Keith Winston was my first coach. Like he was just a no nonsense type of guy. Pushed us all. He talked to us like we grown men, and this was way back when we was young.
Right.
So the expectation was just different. Like his son was nice. We had another kid, Mike Gordon, Mike Stinchcomb. Like we had some guys, man, that just had a different mentality. And I don't know if y'all remember. I'm sure y'all are basketball, you know, gurus, but do y'all remember Rashad Caruth?
Yeah, yeah.
So Rashad Caruth, and I like to compare him to like Gilbert before Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
bro was 6'4". He could shoot. He was shooting the half court shots back 20, 30 years ago. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, this was way back when. Like,
Right.
athletic. He just played like a grown man, but he was a McDonald's All-American from 8th grade to his senior year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I played with him. You know what I mean? Like, this was my environment. So it's like there was a different mindset and a certain type of mentality that you had to have being on the court with guys like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now
You know what I mean?
you mentioned, not to cut your wisdom, but you mentioned about McDonald's All American, right? And you were young coming up, and you were you were getting there, right? I had some friends that were McDonald's All Americans. They played against Jason Kidd and all these other people, right? They decided to sell crack. I'm being honest with you. They were right there, but they just that part of the life was bigger than, you know what I mean, getting into the NBA in their lives. What kept you on the right path?
Well, salute to them, and I didn't know what it's like to be a McDonald's All American, but I would say a lot of it for me was trying to prove people wrong. I got a background and a history of trauma, abuse and things like that. So the one thing was like family. The second thing was proving people wrong because I have so many people that would tell me, including my family, people in my family that would be like, "Bro, you ain't gonna be nothing. You ain't gonna do this. You stupid. Blah 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 blah."
Wow.
And I was just like, "All right, cool. Like I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you." And that was always my thing. Like when I came up, people be like, "Bro, you soft. You ain't no hooper, bro. Why you?" Like I had to hear all of that, bro. And I had to endure all of that. Like I was just like, man, I'm about to show everybody. And then it went from me trying to prove something to them to now I'm proving it to myself. So that was like a part of that transition.
Got it.
You know, it's so crazy. Like, so do we have Aunt Morrow? We have him on the show sometimes or whatever.
Yeah, my
Here,
brother.
yeah. He's supposed to be here at night, but I'm gonna get on his ass. He probably out hanging at the bar. He said he's gonna show up. But anyway, but I asked him a question like, what fueled him to him being from West Side of Charlotte, and what fueled him to actually because you're gonna have doubters. People are gonna get in your head and tell you what you can't do, and so that's something that fueled you. But like, what is it that was the breaking point that say that I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. You're not going to stop
I because I already had nothing to lose.
me.
You know what I'm saying? And these are, some of the things that I went through again in my childhood. It just put me in that state of mind because I felt like I was by myself. I felt alone. I really
deep.
did, and you know, falling in love with any sport was like my freedom. It was my way to express myself. It gave me a sense of family, something I could belong to. And then I wanted to make sure I handled my business in the classroom. Like my mom, and my mom was my partner always. And my mom didn't play about like education. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a big thing for her. Like if you don't make the grades, do what you got to do, then you can't play. And because I didn't want to be at home, I wanted to have a sense of belonging. Like I made sure I took care of my business in the classroom. So just a lot of those things like that, man. That just kept me wanting to find myself more and more and keep showing and keep proving. And aha, I did. You said I couldn't do this. Now look, you know what I
Right,
mean. And then
right,
and
absolutely.
sometimes it turns into other things like. A lot of times when I get a chance to tell my story, one of the things that I don't speak about much, which I probably should more, is like academically. Like I was labeled a lazy kid, and I finished 26 in my class. I had a 3.7 GPA as a lazy kid. So I was like, okay, well, if I apply myself, what does that look like? And I almost had a 4.0 in college. You know what I mean? Like my first year, like I was the academic All-American. Like nobody would ever think of me as being that person. You know what I'm saying? Because that's
Right.
something I don't really talk too much about. But that's something that I'm proud of. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody and all the people that used to talk about me, like the things that I had to overcome, it's like, man, no, like I got a good head on my shoulders. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I got a good work ethic. Like I'm gonna show you.
You know, it's unfortunate. They always they've always labeled us as lazy. It's a label they've given us for a long time, even when we were, you know, slaves. But I'm not gonna get into that situation right now. I had to throw that out there because it's our truth. You know, they label us as aloof, lazy, or whatever, and regardless of the circumstances that we always have against us, we always rise to the top because we are cream. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, I wanted to ask you. Um, so you're out of college or whatever, and you go and your first time getting into the NBA. Your experience. What was your experience like being on a team in the NBA? Your first day. How'd you feel? Was there anxiety? What was going on through your mind? Did you felt like you belong? You know, yada yada yada.
I always felt I belonged. I always
Mm-hmm.
knew I belonged. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I don't base my career off of things like that because being a hooper, man, I know a lot of hoopers that didn't make it to the league that was good enough to be in the league. You know
It's
what I'm
true.
saying?
It's
And
true.
I just think for me, I always belong.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think the stresses and the things that I dealt with early on is what helped me in that stage and that part of my life because there's so many uncertainties. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was able to play 9 years in the league,
Mm-hmm.
um, and a lot of those were like non-guaranteed deals
Mm-hmm.
or a partial
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. Like I really had to make teams.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So thank God to my agent, man. Salute to him, Jamie. Like
Yeah, I chilled.
he
I chilled
always
out with
kept it.
I chilled out with Jamie at the. I went to the
Yeah,
G League with Jamie. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
yeah.
shout out to
He
Jamie.
he
Yeah,
he kept it. He
yeah.
kept it real with me
Mm,
during the whole process, and that's
mm,
what I appreciate. I feel like a lot of guys, man. Like if your agent ain't keeping it a bean with you, you got to think about a new situation. And
mm,
and he let me know the good and the bad. What teams were always saying. It didn't
mm,
matter what it was. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay. And then we put a plan together and we followed suit on that plan. So, a lot of things go wrong,
mm,
just like there are some things that's gonna go right. But
mm,
if the things go wrong don't happen, then you won't know and truly understand what the success in the journey looks like, you know what I'm saying, or being appreciative of it. So I I say all that to say, man, I remember putting on NBA tights for the first time, putting on the practice jersey for the first time, preparing, for a summer and getting ready for training camp,
mm,
having no idea what that looks like.
mm,
Um, Getting into the gym with Dirk and
Mm-hmm.
Steve Nash and
mm,
Josh Howard and all of these people, Marquise Daniels,
mm,
the list goes on, and it's like, bro, I know how I feel. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Now it's just opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
So it's just them ups and downs, and then you got to play the game. You got to be a pro. You got to talk to the coaches. You got to watch the extra film. You got to make sure you're doing the extra reps. You got to make sure you asking the questions. You got to do all those things because at this point, what people don't realize, man, it's a job.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, people want to say, "Bro, what do y'all have to complain about? You making millions of dollars, da 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 da." But it's still a job. We have one of the few jobs, man, where people critique us all day, all night, bro, and we got to sit there and take it. When you go order fast food, you ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? If the employee treated you a certain type of way, you're not
mm,
gonna talk to the employee. You're
mm,
gonna go to the boss. Like these people don't have to deal with all of that.
mm,
You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like,
Got you.
but every day, um, And real quick, I know this is off subject, but I got to give, I'm big on flowers, but I got to give UD his flowers because I know I've been going back and forth with people on social media because they really in their feelings. And I'm like,
who?
Udonis
Udonis Haslem.
Haslem
Okay. Yeah.
for retiring his jersey. And I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, like that man deserved it. He ain't got to be
No.
like, you know what's so dope about it is the fact that it shows that you don't have to be a LeBron, a Kobe, a Mike, or somebody like that in order to receive love.
Right. Absolutely.
To be honest, if we really gonna keep it a beam, as much talent and people that have come through that organization from way back when up until now, including some of the greatest to ever play, from Shaq to D Wade to Chris Bosh to LeBron. The list goes on and on. Exactly. But when people think about Heat culture, they think about Udonis Haslem.
They do. They do.
If you don't like it, and like I was telling them people on Instagram, call Pat Riley and complain. Or do better. Get a jersey, get you a contract, and erase whatever it is that he does. Because, bro, like, again, when I talk about how much athletes have to get critiqued and all the time, and especially from a lot of people that haven't been in that position. And that doesn't mean that just because you're in that position that you can just say whatever you want to either. You know what I'm saying? Like there's levels to everything.
Absolutely.
Right.
I don't agree with some of the people that have played the game at a high level and now they're commentating or doing media and all of that. But I get it. Right?
We're going to get into that.
But I get it.
We got some time. We got some time, baby.
But I just think it's unfair that we can't appreciate somebody for what they've done.
Right.
We can't acknowledge that there's different layers to what success looks like. And the success doesn't have to be you had to get 20,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 5,000 assists. Success looks like a man who's worked his tail off, who's a pillar, and a staple in his city. Like he's from there. That man went overseas, bro. He came back, lost weight, got it in. You know what I'm saying? Like, blood, sweat, and tears for what he meant to that city, man. You know what I mean? Like, so I can't stand that.
I agree with
can't
you on
stand
that.
bro.
Absolutely.
I think the worst thing that's happened with our culture right now is like comparing everybody. Like we're always comparing, the Bronze, the Michaels, and everything else, and just sit down and just really realize the greatness of each individual player. Like there are a lot of, and it's not only just Michael, LeBron, and Kobe. There's like big men that have been in the 80s and 70s, and like there's different eras of playing, and I just hate. And I think with our culture, the culture right now with human beings is just comparing everybody. And just let the person just be great individually and understand their attributes and what they contributed to whatever they've done, whether it's basketball or it's football, whether it's politics,
like
anything.
That. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Biggie, Tupac. You know what I mean? Who's better, like, this one, that one? It's just crazy.
Hey, low key, I wonder if they still would place Biggie and Tupac where they at if they didn't die. But that's just me. That's just me.
I think they'll be up there. A lot of. I believe some other people wouldn't be where they were at if they were still if they stayed on course.
Well, you know what too, when I feel like with our era, we were more in tune with like different artists or different whatever. We didn't have a short attention span. Now it's on to the next thing. This generation's on to the next thing. You have to have a real strong attention span because tomorrow everything is changing. Like we grew up with news. News lasted a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, a month. Now you got CNN is on a 24-hour cycle. Everything is sports, 24-hour cycle. So everything just changes. So it's just a different. You got Instagram, you got social media. It's just everything is different from what we grew up in. From my era. Like I was talking to my man yesterday on talking to Ant, and he we talked about. We were going back and forth about Nintendo and Sega, and he was like, I said ColecoVision. He was like, I don't even know what ColecoVision is.
ColecoVision's right there. They had Mario Brothers.
You know what I'm saying?
They had Mario Brothers. No, not Mario. Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. Donkey
Yes.
Kong. Yeah.
Yes.
We showing our age right now. We ain't,
Yeah. Well,
we
you
ain't trying.
showing
We
yours,
ain't, we ain't trying to do that. I'm still fly. I dime my joint. But anyway, we all.
Yeah, that's our thing here. We ain't lying. I die mine too.
Yeah,
I'm glad
yeah.
you came out though, brother.
But yours don't look as good as mine. So
All
anyway,
right,
so,
here we go. See? Stupid.
so all right. So what's it like to put on that? What was it like to first put on that Lakers jersey? 'Cause that's a historic franchise.
So I wish that everybody could experience being at a historical franchise to really like get the full experience of a professional, like what that feels like. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't. It could be the Celtics. It could be the Knicks. You know what I mean?
Say them
It could
Celtics again.
be.
There we go. I like to hear that.
Hey man, hey,
Hey.
gotta put respect on. You know, there's
Absolutely.
organizations. You know what I'm saying? That's been doing it, man, and that purple and gold is different, man. Like I'll never forget, like when we won the championship and we're doing a parade and we riding through the city, man, and you seeing Bloods and Crips together. You know what I'm saying? You seeing GDs and Vice Lords together. You seeing the Mexicans with it. Like you just seeing all these different people, different backgrounds. You know, it didn't matter what they was on, what the beef was, because the purple and gold won. It brought the city together. People were like standing on gas stations, like, man, it was crazy, bro.
Well, I believe it.
That was sick, bro.
Oh,
Like,
which
it was
one you
really
talking about? Which
crazy.
you won two. You won 2 times. Which one?
I mean, both parades were. It's just a phenomenal experience.
Yeah, because
like,
one hurt my soul. You already know which one
but
that was.
I already know. But that first one, it was like they just came off of losing, right, to the Celtics, and then we won it, and it's like the whole city was out. It was crazy,
Right.
man. It was crazy. So I just think like the love, the history, the expectations, like playing in that arena, bro. They dim the lights. It's all focused on the court. All the biggest star. Look who done escaped again. Look at him. He undefeated. He going crazy tonight. but that's the thing. And to be honest, there is a pressure to play for that organization. Just having a successful regular season doesn't cut it. Going to the playoffs doesn't cut it. These people want championships.
They want chips.
Right. Absolutely.
And a lot of these other organizations don't have to play with that type of
They
pressure.
ain't built like that.
So the other thing that I always mention too is like LA is not for everybody. A lot of people can't go and play in LA. I'm just keeping it a buck.
Yeah, they say that.
Let alone like you in the league, right? You in the league, that's one thing. There's pressure in that because every night you're gonna have to see somebody. But now you playing for a team or organization that has an expectation. I've heard the stories and seen things myself. Not saying what team or what organization, but I'm just speaking in general on this. But you know, when the city wants to and they can get involved, it could be problematic. Y'all know that too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like them folks, bro, if you're not playing the right way, folks be like,
they want you out. Trade them.
don't come outside.
Don't come outside.
No.
The
You
streets.
talking about trade you?
Talking about the streets.
Man, the trading is the light part of it.
The
Them
streets.
folks is like, bro, we better not catch you outside.
Yeah, the streets. It's real.
That's crazy.
Them folks,
That's
it's
crazy.
real.
That's crazy. Wow.
Because you got to think too, bro. People betting on games. Like it's a lot that's going on.
That's
And
crazy.
these folks feeling like you ain't holding up your end of the bargain, man. They gonna be like, hey, bro, man, I'll let you.
Yeah, I noticed because I watch like the Lakers games. I have to. I watch multiple games and see who's doing what. You know, LBJ's over there. He's doing this thing right. We're trying to. He's trying to get that second chip for them. But how come when a lot of these players they shooting 40% for three, they go to the Lakers, they shooting 33%. What is that? Is that them lights are just too big for them? You believe that?
I do. There is truth to that.
Mm.
I can't say everything because it might be a player going through something. It might be a player could have some personal issues. It might be, you know, the team. You know what I'm saying? Like guys on the team may not mesh well. It could be different things. You know what I mean? But I'm not by no means trying to make excuses for anybody, but these are facts. Because people view um players as just players and not viewing them as people.
Mm.
And now when you hear like a lot of people, they're being more vocal about their struggles or more vocal about other things that they could be going through.
Gotcha.
Again, I'm not trying to make an excuse or none of that.
Right.
No, no.
But it is factual. Like when you gotta play, think about being LeBron's teammate. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's heavy.
respectfully. And think about like even when I first got to LA, like you hear the whispers of what 24 is like. And then actually experiencing 24. You know what I'm saying? Like now we on the court and now how do you respond to when he gets on you or how do you respond to when he challenges you or tries to, check you on something just to see how you going to respond back? Like what you on? He want to know who he riding with.
Right.
You
That's
know what
right.
I'm saying? So it's a lot. Like I said, man, it's a lot that goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
Then the pressures of people don't understand too. Like if guys are going out and you might be fighting for a deal, that's pressure in itself. So now it's like you ain't really going out because you're trying to get your rest. You don't know what you want to do. Like there's a lot of things that guys deal with that I know it will never happen, but they deserve grace.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not easy. And again, respectfully, I don't care if you're a basketball player or a teacher. You just never know what people are going through.
That's
You know
real.
what I'm saying? And what that looks like. So I try to focus on the human aspect of everything. And I know that's not a favorable thing for a lot of people because it's like, oh, well, you're getting paid all this money, what you complaining for? This is the expectation, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't just act like they're not human beings, though.
All right. That's you right. And so I got to get to it. I got to get to this one thing. I believe, this is what I believe. I believe if Kendrick Perkins did not get hurt, we would have beat y'all in 2010. Come on. What you think? What you got on that?
Bro, we was going to see y'all. Hey man, and you know what's crazy? That was such a great series,
Oh,
but it
yes.
was
It was
like
beautiful. Iconic.
we were fighting ourselves because, for example, with Kobe, like understanding all that he's carrying on his shoulders. Because he wants to beat that team so bad. Like
Absolutely.
when I tell you he's one of those people that has a real hatred for the Celtics.
As he should.
For many reasons, right? That was also the team that was supposed to, with the draft situation. There's a lot that goes into like before games. The Celtics song that comes on before the game starts, the like that. Bro, he used to play that in his headphones, blasting over and over and over and over. Like it was sick, bro. But
Right.
he was so locked in.
Right.
You didn't talk to him. It was no nothing. He was so locked in, So it was just one of those things, man. We just had to keep our composure and get through it because I also think too, the Celtics from a mind game standpoint, they were really banking on the fact that they whooped up on that team 2 years prior.
Correct.
So once you see them again, it's like, oh, we got this.
So
So for us, it was just staying the course and making sure that we overcome all of those little mental hurdles and battles and all of those things, because especially in championship time. Once you get to that point in the game, it's mental. It ain't got nothing to do with X's and O's or anything else. It's who wants it more. You remember when Ron slammed Paul Pierce first out the gate, game one.
Yeah, I remember all that.
We
You
used to
know what
call-
I'm
we-
I
saying?
was
Like,
locked in. I was hurt. I'm still hurt
come
over
on,
that.
man.
We needed that one. We needed that one.
We used to call
Come
Paul
on now.
Pierce the sloth. So so my thing is that listen, I want to ask you a question. So, what's it like? What is it like to play with Kobe Bryant? And then, can you give me an example of when you felt like he was pushing you, or like what's it like to feel that energy just to play with him?
For one, I feel that the reason why we were so close is because of the way that I approached the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were similar in that manner.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I don't have to have somebody tell me like, yo, you got to play hard. You got to bring energy or effort to do this or do like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
that was not something that I had to have somebody like, hey, bro,
Mm-hmm.
what you on? For one, for two, my room for error was so small
Mm-hmm.
that my attention to detail, making sure that I'm somebody you could trust in any game situation, like all of those things, I had to be all the way up here at all times.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like I had to cut some switch on or I had to be a certain type of way because it's him.
You had to follow your assignment.
I didn't care none of that. I
Yeah.
stayed the course because I'm like, bro, I'm wearing this jersey just like you. Like the first time he really tried me was the first practice we had, literally.
Mm-hmm.
And he was guarding. I want to say he was guarding Sasha. Had to been guarding Sasha because we didn't make no trade yet until halfway through the season.
Mm-hmm.
So with the guys we had, I just remember he was guarding Sasha. I'm on the second team.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha came off my way. So I stood to go head hunt and popped him on the screen. He didn't like that. And he got the cursing at me. All right, like I don't use language, fellas. So y'all bear with me.
It's okay.
But
It's okay.
he got the saying all that, and he was just like, man, don't do that ish no more.
Right.
I'm like, bro, I'm from the South Side. What are you talking about? And I told Sides like, hey man, bring it back, run him back off.
Right.
And he respected that because I popped him again. But it ain't like we finna scrap, bro. Like,
Yeah. Ball.
I ain't never like I'm with the smoke, but I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't on that type of time. Like I'm trying to make a team, and I'm just locked in.
Yeah.
And he does things like that, but he saw I was on the same type of time he was on. You know, obviously his skill set, and I'm skilled, but I get a bucket. Like a lot of people only think of me from the standpoint of like, yeah, I was athletic as hell, but they always think of me as a jump shooter. Like, nah, it's a lot in the package. It's a lot in the package. So they got to see that day in and day out. And he appreciated. I feel like he appreciated that. That was one of the reasons why we were so close. So I didn't get caught up, into all of that, man. I got a job, I got a family, I got things that I'm trying to do and accomplish, and I want to be a part of this special thing that we have with this team. So
yeah, they said you was the dancer on the team. You was the one that was dancing the most.
Yeah, turned up, man. Hey,
what was your favorite songs? Man? What we dancing to, John? What we doing?
I'm trying to think of what was out back then. Because,
yeah, that's a long time.
Back then, all the songs were like dances. You know what I'm saying?
Was Swagger was the Swagger shit out? Was the joint
Swag Surf was.
Swag Surf
that was out there. Yeah, I don't think that was out.
That wasn't out there.
Yeah, the 50 Cent era was coming to
50 Cent was coming. 50 Cent was 2000. That was 2010,
50 Cent was like 2003, but it was coming to an end to hold that thing. And
Lean would have dropped with it?
It might have been.
You dance to that. You dance to that.
Bro, stop. Come on now. That's what you think. I don't know the rapper who sings that song. Do you? Who is it?
I
dance
So here we go. Let it come on out, brother. That's right.
So but I think that's the part that a lot of people didn't do around him not saying that they weren't being themselves, but like for me, I was just a kid too because I was just in the moment. Like
Man.
this is a blessing. Like I'm enjoying this environment. If a
Mm-hmm.
song come on, I'm a judge to it. Like that was just me. You know
Right.
what I mean? And just things that made that team so special.
That's
For
awesome.
sure.
That's
For
real.
sure.
All right. So, you came in 2003 undrafted, correct?
Correct.
All right, and that's the same year LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and all them came in, right? That was a serious draft. Carmelo Anthony, serious draft class, right? So, were you intimidated by this looking like, wow, man, God, these guys are, I mean, Jesus, man, what the heck? Like, do I even have a
I wasn't
chance?
I wasn't even thinking about them, bro. Let me say this. I was on one mock, and I think Jamie had told me this. I was like as high as on one of the mocks as like maybe 16 or 17,
Mm-hmm.
and I came out of my sophomore year.
Okay.
A lot of ups and downs with NC State. Again, my freshman year, I averaged 7, 7, and 3.
Okay.
I jumped up to averaging 12 and some change and
Nice.
about 7, 8 rebounds.
Nice.
And that's with a head coach that was playing with me like,
Right.
my
Oh, yeah, it
minutes
wasn't.
and
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Like her was just on some bull until his job. Nah, bro. Like
Wow.
when his job was on the line, then
Yeah.
bro started playing me. And I started going
Mm.
crazy. I actually was ready to quit basketball, bro. That's how frustrated I was.
Really?
Yeah, man. I had a long conversation with my mom. I'll never forget this, man. It was around Valentine's Day. We was playing Duke at Duke.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was sick, you know what I'm saying? Well, she still is, but that was like at the beginning of her having fibromyalgia and just all the different things that started coming up on her. And I was just like, man, I'll come home and take care of you. Like, I'll just get a job. She was like, no, son. She cried. She was like, you can't do that. You work so hard. And I'll never forget, man, the last 2 months of the season, I just turned up. I averaged 17 and 9. And then I went to the was it the ACC tournament and averaged 20 and 8. Like I was getting to it, bro. I was so locked in. I was, bro. I'm trying to see whoever. Everybody can get it. Like, and I'm talking about like the buckets was on some like just outworking people. It ain't even like I'm going heavy into the bag. It's just like offensive rebounding, being in the right spot, put back dunks, like you know, transition stuff, like stuff like that. Just being hungry. So yeah, that ain't no way.
So I wanna pivot into your book and what you're doing. I've been watching you on Instagram, and I know you have a book out. Can you tell me about your book? What was the inspiration behind you writing your book? Um, and what is the inspiration behind, you know, that movement that you have right now? Because like people will look at you as, I feel like people look at you as, Josh Powell as the person that has 2 rings or whatever, and played for the Lakers. But like you said earlier, you're a person. Uh, you've been through things. You've been through a lot of things. You've learned a lot of things, and your path and your journey is everything. Where's your path post NBA? Where has it taken you? What has it brought you to?
Being a servant. That's the best way I can answer that. Cause like, I wanna help people. And helping people could be inspiring, motivating, helping people could um, you know, look at yourself um, as your healthier self. Um, helping people could look like forgiving yourself or someone else, creating conversations within your household
Yeah.
or in your communities that are important and that lead change, you know what I'm saying? So I've always had a big heart. I've always been on that type of time, but I feel like that's been my purpose. I found like my true purpose. Um, and that's just the space that I'm in, you know what I'm saying? And I've, even within the past 2 years, I just mentioned you guys, like, I try to watch my mouth and not curse. And I've been on a spiritual journey. I got baptized,
Sonya
over,
looking at me right now
over,
because
over
I
two
did one
years.
curse.
Yeah. Nah, y'all can do y'all. I was just talking about my own
Yeah,
personal,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I'm just trying to be a better me. A lot of the behaviors, a lot of the things, like I had stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, I stopped doing edibles. Like I've never really been the type to go out and stuff like that. But bro, I haven't been in a club in years. I haven't been
Wow.
to a strip club in years. You know what I'm saying? Just like tonight, like I was in church. You feel me? Like I spend my Saturdays in church all day, observing the Sabbath. Like I really have appreciated this journey. And I still have a lot more room to grow. I'm not
Definitely,
perfect
we
by
all
any
do.
means,
Yeah.
but I can definitely, I feel like I see the growth, and I just want to continue to stay the course, man. And it's been refreshing.
Nah, brother, I study because I watch your Instagram and I see you driving. You said I'm about to go get these blessings. So it's very important. We were talking before you got on air. You tried to put me on the seat. That wasn't gonna happen, but but
Oh,
we'll talk.
you was
We
on
can
there,
we can
man.
talk afterwards one day when I get to Atlanta. We can have a conversation. But
Let's do it.
yeah, but definitely I love the way like I was looking at your because before we interview people, we always have to do our background and like your story and the way in you can look at the culmination of that's not a real word. I just messed up.
Oh
But
yeah,
like
yeah. Come
yeah,
on, bro. What are we doing, man?
the whole
I'm
we can
riding
look
Kevin
with
over
you,
here. What the
bro.
we can
heck's going
look
on,
we,
bro?
we, can look at your whole
Come on,
My boy
collection.
turned up
doing
real
too much
quick.
go wrong, bro. Come
We can
on.
look at your whole collection of your Instagram posts, and like I see like you're on a path, you're on a path that's righteous, and I really was looking at it, and because I was trying to find questions to ask or whatever, because I knew about you playing, but I didn't know about where you at right now, and it's very important because people look at you as you being in the league and don't look at you post, you know, and that's
So
important. Yeah,
you know what I want to say to that, because for one, I'm a podcaster just like you
I
are.
seen that.
We
Yep,
both are.
I've seen it. Yep,
That's
And
dope.
I've
That's
seen it.
dope.
Yep.
That's dope.
one of the things that I love to do, because when you interview people, there's like that responsibility of like knowing them prior to asking or doing certain things, man. But I think one of the things that I find beauty in is I actually treat people, even when I do know them, I treat them and the interview as if I have no idea,
Mm,
and I want to be able to dig deeper. So, for me, I take it as a conversation,
mm,
and I want to be able, because I know I might know what I know, but the
mm,
listener may not.
mm,
And that's a part of trying to find that story, or to get them to dig deeper, because for me, I'm in a space that's different. I'm an athlete.
mm,
I'm not talking about sports. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about relationships.
mm,
Out of all the things in the world, I'm entering into that realm of things. And it's, people can say the market is oversaturated. I don't think so. I feel like if we were in the space that people claim that they are, it wouldn't be all the relationship talks, that's going on, or all the podcasts and everything else, the different perspectives. But we're coming from a broken place. So I think it's beautiful, and I'm humbled, and I appreciate, what I'm saying, the fact that it's like, okay, let me do my due diligence, but at the same time, I'm not the same person I was yesterday either.
mm,
Right.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So things are
mm.
forever changing. And that's the thing that I stick to, because I don't like to go into anything, like even me talking with you all, like
Mhm.
we was chopping it up for 20
Yeah,
minutes
before you
prior
got
to
on, yeah.
even just getting it going,
Yeah.
just having a natural conversation, like
Got it.
nothing scripted, no anything. We was
Mhm.
laughing, we was
Right.
joking, we was
Mm.
having some serious moments, but we was just chopping it.
No.
Right.
And I think that's the beautiful part again of what y'all are doing of allowing me to be a part of your platform, because people just get to see us just be in our element, even though there's cameras, even though there's somebody behind the scenes making sure that the audio, the picture looks good, all of those things. But we're just three kings having a conversation
Absolutely.
and getting to learn one another as we go through this conversation. So, I salute it, man, and I know for a fact, it's nothing easy about anything that we're doing. But again, what y'all are doing, how you doing it. Thank you. And I know I went off
I
on a
appreciate it.
tangent, but
No, no,
Nah,
I
yeah.
just
I
wanted
do it all the
to.
time.
I just wanted to say that. You know what I'm
nah,
saying?
absolutely. I hear that you mentioned in
I love it.
the relationships and everything like that, and basically how I view it. Um, this is how I think. Like, so this is like nothing about no podcast, nothing. This is talk
You
how I
think?
think,
You
right?
think? You think?
Yeah, I think because music and the culture, the music has a lot to do with how feelings are involved, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And so we grew up listening to all the Babyface, listening to all the slow jams. I mean, people say, "Oh, that's soft, this and that," but we were men, and some of the thoroughest guys listened to all those musics late at night or with their significant other. Now there is nothing like that. I mean, I have a daughter. I have other family members. They don't even know how. They break up. They don't even know what to do. There's nothing. There's no music to play like that. That's on. You know what I mean? It's you got to find it to feel it.
They're broken. They're broken. Like
And so they don't know where to go to get the love, to get that feeling. You always have a breakup song. You got a song when you meet somebody. You have a song for this moment,
Like
that moment.
You know what you're saying? This is real. We were getting a relationship thing earlier, Josh. It's like these kids today, they don't know how to, like, when they break up or they have a heart, they don't know how to be heartbroken.
Right.
Like, there's nothing wrong with being in a corner and being like, damn.
Right, but you
I'm
know
really
what?
hurt. I'm really hurt.
But that song will come on the radio and be like, "You'll get back together." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Whatever it is. You know what I mean?
some-
Now
yeah,
it's just man, shoot 'em up, bang bang, whatever the heck it is.
Yeah,
or,
it goes back to that. It goes back to
or some ratchet stuff.
Some ratchet stuff. And we were talking on our podcast before, like 2 episodes ago. I was like, I'm not gonna talk. I never talk bad about the drill music and all that stuff or whatever, because I think it's it's the culture, and we had rap and we had hip hop and it manifests to whatever. But there has to be some feeling brought back into
That's what I was
into
getting
our
at
culture.
right there.
And
No feeling at all.
There's no feeling. Like it's like a woman is an object and that's it, and you always gonna be on top. And no, we hurt.
Right.
I hurt. Like I was hurt. I was hurt when the girl. I'm gonna go back.
Right.
I was hurt.
Please take me back. But you had the music to help you.
Yeah, you had the
You
music,
had the music to help you.
Yeah, music
You
hurt,
turned on you turned on Keep Sweat. Nah, he might be crying.
Yeah.
Baby, please.
That's the worst crying ever.
Yeah,
he can't sing. I love Keith Sweat, but he has that monotone voice though.
So and y'all are, first of all, I want to acknowledge y'all are raising some very good points. I have a little bit of a different perspective, and the reason why is because, well, I'll get into it. So basically, for me, I think the order is wrong. We're going to the music when we need to go to our parents. We need to go to our grandparents. You know what I'm saying? Like we're trying to find a source in the wrong vehicle. And I'm saying that as a person that loves music. Music is a big part of my life. You know what I mean? Like, but I also understand that there's a separation factor on what is actual and what is entertainment. Because if we're gonna put it on music, we also got to put it on movies. And if we're going to put it on movies, we got to put it on shows. If we're going to put it on shows, we got to like, we basically can't listen to anything. We can't watch anything. Like I always challenge people to kind of think about that perspective, because we do put a lot on that. But I just can't fathom, like, I'm listening to something, and I love Eminem, for example. I'm not going to go rape my mother.
Right.
Sorry.
That's
I'm sorry.
That's true.
That's facts.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not
It's out of order.
Like when I was just a little baby boy, my mama used to tell me these crazy things. She used to tell me my daddy was an evil man. She used to tell me he hated me. Like, come on, man. Like I got song like, bruh, I can give y'all bars after every artist or whatever, but I just would never think to do or be on that type of time. Like even the kids these days, just because a Future or somebody says to pop a Molly or a perk or do this or do that. Like if I do it on my own, that's one thing. But I just never have put a
Influence.
song on and it's like I'm about to go kill somebody. Or I'm about to
Well,
go,
it's wild.
you know what I mean? Like
But
I understand the power of it too.
yeah.
I do
But
Very
because
you know what though? The difference you gotta look at it is this, like, and I'm gonna tell you something. Like, I'm from Southside Queens, born and raised. My grandfather raised me. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up in that situation, and my dad wasn't around. My dad's around now in my life, but my dad wasn't around. So like, I grew up around a lot of kids that wasn't able to go to their grandkids, to go to their grandfather, their grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Like we was watching. I tell you, me and my crew in Queens, we was watching Juice. We would leave.
me too.
We would leave. We
Absolutely.
leave middle school. We had the high. He was wearing the high Timberlands yesterday. But like
Absolutely.
you got the high Timberlands
40
on. You
belows.
leave the 40 belows. You go. We cutting class because all my cats live in the project. My mom's single parent had a house in the 65th Street. We cut there and we go and make corned beef hash in my crib. We cut school, whatever. So like a lot of them didn't have grandparents. My grandfather was checking on me every day, but like a lot of them didn't have the grandparents weren't right. So my thing is that you gotta understand, like, I'm not telling you, but I'm saying like with us or whatever, we kind of latch on to what we have.
Let me ask you this. I grew up on Juice too. I love that movie, watched it a million times.
Yep.
Would you kill one of your best partners?
You damn no, hell no.
So
Hell
that's
no.
my point.
Hell no.
So you
Hell no.
understood what that's the point that I'm making. Like
Yeah.
if we really break down what we're saying, like I trust me when I tell you I get it. But when we really just go there and be like, all right, man, shit, am I gonna take my best friend's girl down because so and so said whatever?
No.
You know,
No.
I seen O'Shea Jackson breaking down the Puff Daddy line the other day, which was hilarious.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
That was crazy.
but it's
Yeah,
like would I now be looking at one of my partners like, yo, I want to get at you, bro? Like I'm gonna bend you over or be on this type of time with you
Right.
because
Yeah.
the music is just, got me in this mood. No, sir.
But you gotta
Negative.
understand. But you gotta understand too. It's like when you don't have, we don't have proper family structure to lead you right. That's all they got. Like I've been around dudes who don't have no family, and that music is there. Like we had. I'm gonna give you one right now. So you versed in music, right? All right. So we had a discussion the other day, right?
There we go.
Here we go. So look, this is your cap moment, because we do caps, and we're East Coast. Better album, Infamous Mobb Deep or Nas Illmatic? See, he's thinking, so I'm good.
You know, it's funny because like I feel like I've probably listened to more Mob than I did Illmatic.
There we go.
There we go. That's
we
what
go.
we said. That's what we said.
That's exactly what I said.
And it was hard to say that. It was really hard to say that
Very
on our
hard.
last episode. It was really hard to say that, but I was
Why
like,
though?
because Nas
Illmatic is the Bible.
is like the Bible of everything, and people look at it as the
Why?
Bible of everything.
Why though? He had like a couple of songs. If we really go keep it a bean, that you gonna
bean.
go
That's
to
what I
and
said.
play
Real
on.
talk.
It's like
that Mob album is from start
to finish.
to finish.
Here I go again.
That's right. That's
Lose
right.
the option.
But I want to share this with you too
Yes, brother.
because again, a lot of what I talk about in this book, right? Because I don't want to miss one of the other things. So one of the inspirations behind the book was to create conversations, having that dialogue.
Mm.
I was very intentional about the 106 pages that's in this book. Very intentional. I wanted to give people a quick read, an easy read, but something that's going to hit you in the head. Every sentence, every paragraph, every page.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked about my upbringing. I talked about the abuse. I talked about the trauma. When we first started this conversation, we talked about sports. I was trying to belong somewhere. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But there has to be a part in people. What is that saying about you if it could be a stranger that can tell you what to do?
Well, that that
That's
that
gonna be harmful, right?
right.
Because it's still a slippery slope for somebody that could be motivating. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's journey or what they could be telling you that may not be for you, and that's okay too.
That's
But
true.
I just can't personally see myself. And I listen to music, bro. Like I promise you, we should have a listening session too. If the house if we had this conversation 7 hours ago, bro, I would DJ for y'all real quick, and I would just go straight north. I would play so much, y'all be like, God, dog, my boy, you put that thing together, D. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
but I'm saying that to say the same way we had to decipher through music and movies and shows way back when, we got to be able to have that skill set now. And we've also given social media and other platforms a much bigger voice than the person who raised us, than the person who spends more time with us. We
Amen.
got to make that make sense.
Yeah.
Like, how crazy is that? Now, and this is a thing, and I'm sure we did it. I know I did it a time or two. You know, like the saying, like, your mom and dad could tell you something, and then your friend's mom and dad tell you the same thing. You'd be like, yes, ma'am, yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling that. And you be looking like, bro, you serious? I've been on your head about that, but you know
For a
what? It
minute.
takes a village.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, it takes a village. So I I I understand culture, I understand influence, but I also think that us as people, we have to continue to figure some things out. I didn't grow up with the best father figure, but because of that, it helped me navigate in a space that turned me into being a better father. I didn't have the best examples of how to be a husband or how to be a partner or how to even function in relationships. But through time and through a lot of bumping my head and getting back up, I'm slowly starting to figure some things out. I understand that us as men, we don't talk. I was one of them. But then when I had kids, I had to figure out that's not the way. I got to learn how to be vulnerable. I have to learn how to be even more transparent. I have to learn how to tap into
It's
my emotions and do things that create
it's
balance.
it's very hard for black men to be vulnerable. It's very hard. I think men in general, but it's very hard for black men to show weakness. We were raised in an atmosphere where if anything is going on, we supposed to just be strong and just figure it out, or just whatever. And it's like it's very hard for us to do that. And I don't know. I don't know. Like with me, like my grandfather was a very stout person, and I respect him to this day because he raised me. I don't know if I agree with showing my weaknesses, or it's a struggle with me, because that's just how I was raised, and it's hard to get out of that bubble. I'll be totally honest with you. It's very hard to get out of that bubble.
I
Yeah,
respect that.
yeah, it's very
That's
hard.
that's
Yeah,
my that's my superpower
yeah, yeah.
because when I let that go, to your point, I didn't talk. I'm really an introvert. It might not seem like it, but I really like stay out the way, be myself.
Yeah.
I just know how to cut a switch on and then cut that thing right back off.
Right.
But that's the reason why I got tattoos from head to toe, is because I didn't talk. That was my way of expressing. But when I had kids, kids will remind you. They'll make you tap into parts of you, or
That's right.
challenge
That's
you, or
facts.
trigger parts of you in where you need to grow and how quickly you need to grow,
Absolutely.
because they're gonna mirror those things. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I was like, bro, like I don't. One of the things I always used to say to myself is like, I don't want my oldest son to not be able to cry or to be able to express himself because he's gonna have a rough life.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like us three that's on this doing this conversation right now, we know what that feels like. You just said, King, like, yo, I come from an era of we all come from that same era. I was the same type of person.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a very, believe it or not, I used to have like a interesting little attitude. I
Mm-hmm.
was always with the smoke. I was always on some like we could fight, but then it got exhausted.
Yeah.
Then I found myself in a position where I mess around to get an attitude or do something and I fight. Yeah, I could win, but now I could lose my job. This
Mm-hmm.
is how I feed my family.
Yeah.
So that's the other part to all of this because we got to figure out better ways.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
when I started to again, this was all a process. I'm not saying that I snapped my fingers and overnight I
Mm-hmm.
just turned into something or started
Right.
going into that way.
Process.
But when I started to, and I say this all the time, that 8 Mile is one of my favorite movies.
Why is that?
The scene between Papa Dot and Eminem was so beautiful because you got to think of all the stuff Eminem had to overcome to get to that point. And then the strongest part of the movie was he had to, in order for him to win a battle, he had to overcome the biggest obstacle, which was himself. The embarrassment of
Yeah, he
how he
he said
grew
it,
up.
and he said it in the verse. He said it. Yeah, I'm still screaming. I'm
He
still sitting here screaming.
come on,
Come on,
man.
F the
One of the
yeah,
most
yeah, yeah. That was
powerful
ill. That
scenes
was ill. That was ill.
because what he did as a man was he took his power back.
Yeah, yeah.
He took his power back by acknowledging all his faults. And if
That's real.
we as men could get to a point where we can acknowledge our faults and take ownership and accountability, how is somebody going to tell you something if you just go ahead and say like, yo, I effed up.
Yeah.
That's on me.
Well, that's like, a lot of people, when I say I look in the mirror, right? Some people just look in the mirror. To look in the
Right.
mirror for real, you know what that looks like. Because now we having this
Absolutely.
conversation right now. This is when you look in the mirror for real. And a lot of people don't want to see that. I did that. I looked in the mirror for real. And when you look in the mirror for real, you're going to know all your weaknesses, you're going to know your strengths. And then you have to humble yourself for real. And when you do that, then you can go down that line that you're talking about right now. But other than that, if you just lying to yourself in the mirror, you're never going to get there.
Facts. And then the other part that's crazy is you got these unhealed people bringing unhealed children into this world because you're going to pass that down. So that's the other reason why we got to be motivated in how are we going to work towards the best version of ourselves. How am I going to get to a point where as a man, I want to make sure that, bro, you said you got 4 beautiful young daughters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine your daughter dating a a guy who can't manage his emotions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like imagine her dating a young man that is angry all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Or his way of showing love is being super aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine your daughter coming to you crying like, bro, you gonna tear the whole city up?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
For your baby girl. So I think of things like that. When I wrote the book that I wrote, it was like, how do you express that? How do you to get people to just start thinking differently? To try. Like it may not work out on the first go. It might take you 2 years. But at least the first step is to acknowledge.
Brother
And if you
Josh,
can acknowledge, go ahead.
I'm gonna interrupt you. What's the best chapter of your book? You feel like it gets to the meat. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I apologize, but like
No, the first chapter.
the first chapter. Okay.
Yep.
It sets the introduction and everything, and
Because it's just the introduction, and all of the chapters are great. The reason why I'm saying the first chapter is the best one is because I'm showing you that I'm just like you.
okay.
I'm letting people know I come from whatever it is that you come from, and the remainder of the book is how do we get there.
Okay.
A lot of people talk about what they come from, and then they skip all of these steps to say, "Oh, I'm successful now." But you don't really know what the ins and outs to that journey looks like.
Right.
We talking about everything. We talking about sleeping right. We talking about eating
wow.
right. We talking about what you listen to, what you watch. We talking about your spiritual warfare. We talking about all the things that are going to help you become a better version of you. Not just your mental health, not just your financial health. We talking about how can you be the best version of yourself mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, and physically.
What year? What year? What year? Where was this? You had? Did you have your awakening on this? Like when did you like figure out like, okay, fine, I wanted to do this book, but also like put these seeds out there.
Always been trying to plant seeds, just trying to figure out the different ways to do them. That's honestly why I love podcasting. You know what I mean? Like the book was kind of like somebody telling me like, yo, you need to write a book. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where that came from. I didn't think about writing a book. That wasn't on my list of things to do, but I'm glad that seed was planted. So now what I want to try to do is I want to plant a seed to motivate and inspire other people to write their story. Kings, y'all too should write a book. Period.
I write a book,
You
man.
should write a book. You should write a book.
People might just start crying at the first 2 pages, man.
Let them cry. You know what I mean? Like but it's so beautiful because when I did this project, even though I believe it's a bestseller, I know it's gonna do all the things it's supposed to do, but I didn't do it for that. I did it because if one person got the book and it helped them change their perspective or gave them a sense of healing or did something for them, then it did what it was supposed to do. That's just one book.
Yeah, I could feel your energy. The energy that you on right now, you probably maybe next year or another year from now, you're probably gonna be the talk of all podcasts and things of that nature because what you're doing is not easy. It's one of the hardest things to do. Is to do a total change and to stick to that. Because I know what you're doing. I know how to do that too. I just don't want to. I'm being honest.
Yeah, he's being honest.
I mean, I'm on a good path. I don't want to harm nobody and things of that nature. You know what I mean? I don't bother nobody. But to be on that, you on that. You on that. You on that thing right there. And when you on that, you know what I mean, that movement right there and that motivation, you can't be stopped, bro.
Yeah, one thing is like when you get here and we get you on a podcast and we interview you, I would tell you like, we're looking at asking about questions about the NBA or whatever, and your platform is so much bigger than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I will tell you, like, and I knew by the time, because we were talking before we got on air, and we were talking about my situation or whatever, and we were just delving into it, and like it means a lot to have somebody to actually care or even want to give their point of view on a situation like that, because we got to care about our men. Got to care about our families, our daughters, our mothers and fathers. Like it's a big deal. Like we're left behind.
No, it's a huge deal, and the other reason why it was important is because I know the transition you're about to go through, and it's nothing. I'm on my second marriage, and it's nothing. It's nothing more painful / frightening than knowing that you're not going to wake up next, being able to see your kids the way that you had that before. Now, again, I don't, we're not going to get into that right now, but there's so much that I've learned because of me bumping my head that I can help others and to inspire other thought processes that can help protect fathers, that can put you in a better place so you can be around your kids. It's a lot of things that's different, but I just know what comes from that. And then it's like the other part too is we've gotten away from viewing and treating people like they're human beings because it's like, okay, who we got on the docket today? We got Josh. All right, cool. And then the person comes, they do their thing, and then that's it. And then we don't typically, it's like, yo, we had a great interview. we don't really think about the small details and all of those things. Like to ask a person how they're doing. Like, how are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? When is the last time somebody really cared? You
That's
feel me?
right.
Like, when's the last time somebody just checked on y'all just to be like, yo, how's your spirit? You good? Hey, big dog, I know you going through this breakup thing, man. Are you sure you okay? Do you need something? If
Right.
not, just know I'm here for you. That right there, bro, takes us.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We able to take off like a rocket because it's like, man, for that moment, somebody saw me. For and I've told my wife this. Like, one of the reasons why I married her was because she's a beautiful person inside and out, but she treats me like a human being.
There we go. Right there.
And a lot of women that I've dealt with, it's a status thing, it is a money thing, it is, oh, you're such a great dad thing, or because, because of the sex or because of all of these different things. I can't think of the last time a woman really looked at me and was just interested in me for me.
Wow.
As a man, as a human being, as a
That's deep.
person.
That's deep.
That's real.
You
A
know
lot
what
of
I'm
men are
saying?
going through that
So
right now. They're not even happy with the situation with these.
listen,
Out
a
here in these
lot of
streets,
men,
man.
not only they going through it, a lot of men are married to it. A lot of men are in relationship with it. A lot of men are bringing kids into this world with
That's
it.
right.
Oh yeah, every day, bro. There's so many people, dog, that I'm looking at, bro, and I'm like,
Josh,
I know, I
oh,
know, I know
Oh,
whoa,
we can't
pain.
go too
I
long
know.
though. We're getting.
oh yeah,
Hold
you
on
gotta
now.
give it
Hold
to,
on.
you gotta give it, you gotta give the whole book over in a
Yeah.
way.
Bro, we could sit here all night talking that talk.
That was that
Yeah,
talk.
that
That's
right
some,
there.
That's real. That's a. You know what? I will tell you. You got a lot of brothers who are locked up right now. They in shackles, and they're not free to be themselves, and they're willing to just live a life of just doing that and are afraid to leave their situation or just want to just be in that thing. And then my thing is that at the end of the day, I don't judge nobody on that, but as far as having an outlet to talk and have a situation where we can vent as men, and women should be able to vent as well as the kids and families. We should be able to vent and have an outlet, and that's just very important for family structure for all of us to have a voice, in what we're going through. Because when we're silenced, that's when problems happen.
Absolutely.
And I just. I'm big on that. We're gonna do our cap session, Josh, because Josh, man, I could be here with you for 4 hours, man. We're gonna talk and we gonna
I told you I was gonna try to set the bar a little different, man. I tried to tell you.
Definitely, your viewpoints is definitely what's needed out here.
Yeah, definitely, brother. So we're gonna go to our cap session. So we're gonna do the first one. So sneaker wise, are you rocking Air Max or you rocking Jordans?
First of all, because I gotta show love, I'm really a Vans guy.
You
Vans
right,
are like my
okay,
favorite
you
shoe.
bro, that's what's up.
Vans is like an all-purpose, like you can wear them with suits, jeans, shorts. Like you could throw a pair of Vans on with anything and just go crazy.
You threw it out there.
Between J's and Air Maxes, though, I got both. I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather wear a pair of Jordan 1s over anything. And now I definitely rather a pair of Jordan 1 lows over anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my favorite Jordan period is the ones he got fined for. Those are the hardest J's to
They're
me
nice.
out of
They hard.
all the
they are.
millions. The
Absolutely.
breads?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Them
Yes,
don't
they
play
are.
fair.
Absolutely.
Jermaine Dupri or Puff Daddy?
Come on, man. I gotta go with JD. You know. for so many reasons. And this has nothing to do with the controversial stuff of Puff because he just put an album out that really went crazy. Like I'm still listening to it, and I fool with Puff, like the music that he's been able to put out, but JD got hits, bro. Like
Definitely do.
I'm going with JD.
Okay. You got one, or you want me to do the last one, or what?
Hold on. This is so. Let me switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
Wu-Tang and NWA.
Gosh,
That's a hard one.
it's like 100 Wu-Tang members. But you know what's funny, man? Like, and they both had documentaries. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That NWA joint, though.
It's crazy.
That movie was crazy. OG Two-Tone made that movie.
Listen, and when they was running back the hits.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
So the NWA got the nod over the Wu?
I'm gonna have to give
The Wu's for the kids now. Come on.
Rules for the kids. What's what DB said? Last one, we ain't gonna hold you.
Right.
Outkast or Mobb Deep?
Come on now.
I don't know. What's up?
Oh, I want to hear this one.
Outkast or Mobb Deep?
That's easy, bro.
Oh.
Outkast.
Okay. I thought he was like the mob.
Give him a cap.
Yeah, it's Cat.
We going with Mob.
Come on, we mob over here, but I respect it though.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, I respect it. Absolutely.
Josh, can you plug before we let you go? And thank you for being on this platform with us. We're very humble, and tell Jamie thank you, and
Absolutely.
Rhonda,
Thank you so much
for getting you on. I'm very appreciative. Plug the book. Let them know the title of your book. Let them know where they can find it at, where they can get it at.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
So first and foremost, man, what I wish I knew. Check me out on every platform, from Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Books A Million. We on everything. We everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So check your boy out, man. What I wish I knew. Dope project. Super grateful, man. Just released this thing 2 months ago.
Okay.
November. Well, going on 3 months ago.
Congrats.
And
I'm checking it out tomorrow on the road. I'm gonna rock with that.
please listen, and I want y'all to give me an honest feedback, man. But
No, we definitely will.
So far, for one, I'm super humble because people haven't only been buying it, they've been reading it. And that's been the part that's really been humbling, because I had put up a post, man, and went crazy because I was like, listen, I appreciate y'all for buying it, but y'all got to read it, bro. Like that don't make sense to buy it and just throw it on the shelf and be like, well, I got it and all of that. No, I want you to know me.
Right.
I want you to really get a chance, because there are people that I'm related to that still don't know me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just an opportunity. Like, when people are working on projects, even the same thing for y'all. It's not enough to subscribe. It's not enough to do a post, man. Listen. I want to make sure I'm giving y'all a sound bite, so y'all cut this, man, for y'all folks.
I got you.
Make sure y'all listen to my dogs, man. This is their podcast. They going crazy. They having great conversations, great content. Y'all check them out, man, because there's so much that they're doing behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. There's a lot that goes into this, the beauty of it. So I say all that to say, man, check your boy out. Pull up on me. Give me a review. Tell me what you think. I promise you, I'm that confident about it. It's gonna be all love. You probably gonna have some thoughts. You probably gonna pick up the phone and reach out to somebody that you should have reached out to 5 years ago.
Right.
You're gonna want to have some conversations. You won't want to have some clarity and some understanding. But this book is powerful, man. The wisdom gained from relationships, love, and lust. What I wish I knew. On all platforms. It's your boy Josh Powell checking in, man, and you are getting into the latest episode, Charlotte on the Scene, with my two dogs, Blessed Kings, man, good people, man. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, check them out. Let's get it.